All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Board of Public Works and Safety. We are streaming and filming the meeting today on City of Madison's YouTube channel. It'll be archived for other people to view. Today's Monday, October 17th, 2022. I'll ask clerk to do roll call.
Carlo.
Here.
Mayor Courtney.
Here.
Eaglin.
Here. Board, have you had an opportunity to review the minutes from October the 3rd? If so, entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Could we approve the, amend your, to approve the minutes for October 3rd and the special meeting of October the 11th?
Yes, thank you for pointing that out.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Thank you. No adjustments listed, no unfinished business. We'll move right into new business, and that is a request from Fire Department. I don't know if Chief Washer is here for that. We have a letter from Michael Johnson requesting to be transferred to senior firefighter status. And I'm sitting in between two awesome veteran firefighters, so I will ask them to perhaps lead the way on that particular topic.
This is very common in our fire department once you have some health issues or just age. So I'd like to make a motion that we approve Fireman Johnson's application to become a senior firefighter.
And I'll second that motion.
Okay. Any discussion? Comments or questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Thank you. Now we'll move on to PACE. We have some midpoint and final. And I'll introduce Nicole Shell to lead us through that.
Good morning. I have one midpoint for you. For 1001 West First Street, John Brunn has completed half of the work on this building. He tore off a non-historic addition and is getting ready to rebuild it. But his work is done according to his PACE agreement. So his midpoint disbursement would be for $11,222.50.
You don't happen to have any before pictures here, do you?
I
Okay.
don't. I'll
Okay.
provide those at the final.
Okay. Well, I'm familiar with that property, so I will make a motion to approve midpoint application for 1001 West First Street.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, second, any discussion? Comments or questions? All in favor, please say aye.
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 I'm sorry, who was that second?
David?
Thank you.
Okay.
Three finals for you. The first is Dana Johnson at 612 Walnut Street. She completed work on the concrete porch of her building. This is some before, as you can see the concrete's coming apart. I know they're not the best pictures, but she has completed all of her PACE work. While we don't typically pay for concrete if it's connected to the building like her porch is, we consider it a safety concern. So they've funded this. She's asking for her full disbursement of $5,600.
Wow, looks beautiful. Next door to my old house at 606 North Walnut Street, by the way.
We're gonna do them all in a group, you think?
I think we can. Is that okay?
Yep, that's fine.
All right.
The next final is Len and Michelle Pennington, 227 West Main Street. This was a dilapidated structure that they did quite a bit of work on. You can see in the before pictures, those 2x4s are holding up the roof structure on the second floor. And they've done quite a bit of work on there for exceeding their required match. But it's been all done according to their PACE grant agreement, and they're asking for a final disbursement of 50%, which is $12,500.
Now, this particular property was a dilapidated historic structure on Main Street that had basically been neglected for, what do you think, 20 years or longer?
I
Or
would say at
longer, yeah.
least, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the front of the building, before, it didn't look awful. It's more when you got inside,
Sure.
and then the rear additions were crumbling.
Great.
It's great to finally see that building put to use.
Come back to life.
Yeah, come
That's
back.
Business.
That's what we're doing with our PACE program, is we're
Yeah.
bringing dilapidated, neglected structures in our historic district back to life.
And it was full of shoppers 2 weekends ago.
Yeah.
That's good.
Really appreciate all their investment. Okay, we have one more.
Yes, the last one is 1114 Pinehurst. This building was an unsafe structure that the property owners demolished under our dangerous buildings grant. It was completed according to their PACE grant. They're planning to put a home back there to use as their primary residence. Sable Garcia Media, I believe, and they're asking for the disbursement of $3,526.33.
I'll make a motion, we approve all the PACE finals, 612 Walnut, 227 West Main, and 1014 Pinehurst.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion, comments, or questions? Appreciate everybody who's making an investment in our communities. It does impact the whole neighborhood. So, all in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Keep up the good work there. Contract with Fabulous Inflatables. It must be that time of year again. Yes, so Keely will be here presenting this contract. Dynamic displays.
Yeah, this is the same group we used last year for the parade. They're wonderful to work with. We really like their product. So, yep, same group we're working with. Not much changed.
So this is a rental for a total contract of $9,800,
Yes.
okay? And it includes a 14-foot blue snowman. It's helium, a candy cane, 10-foot gift boxes, ornaments, and gingerbread costume, and toy soldiers. Is that all that?
Yes.
Did I read that
Yes.
correctly?
Now, the helium is not included in this quote. We're getting that from a local group here in town, but they have all the balloons, and they're going to bring manpower to help teach people how to handle them and all that kind of stuff. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Last year's parade was great. I'm sure this year's will be as well. And although we're approving this, I believe through the generosity of the community, majority of the Christmas parade costs are covered with donations from individuals and businesses across the community. Is that correct, Keely?
Yes, that is true.
Fantastic. Well, I'll make a motion then, and we approve the contract with Fabulous Inflatables for the upcoming still calling it Mary Madison?
Yes, we are.
Mary Madison.
I'll second the mayor's motion.
Any discussion? Comments or questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Thank you. All right, so fall sidewalk bid, invite Deputy Mayor McGee up to talk about that.
Good morning.
All right, remember.
So we, as you know, had done a asset management plan for our sidewalks, rated all of our sidewalks, and have included some of that work in with our CCMG work that we're doing. But in addition, we had some funds left available for this budget year and wanted to try and knock off a few more of those lower rated sidewalks in the heavily trafficked areas. So we put together a bid package to allow more companies to be able to bid on those projects. And we divided it into three groups, three separate options, and asked them to bid separately on those projects. What we received back was one bid on package number 3, which I think you have a description of all three packages there. The bid on package 3 came back about where we were expecting, slightly higher than we were expecting for the cost of that work. So I would like to ask your approval of that bid from Saddam Contracting for package 3. It was $109,500. The other two packages, the bids came back quite a bit higher than we were expecting on those two for several reasons. So we're going to take another look at those and see if we can continue to get that work done. But For now, what we would like you to do is reject the bids on both those other packages, but accept the bid on the package number 3. And this work will be completed this year.
I'll make a motion, then we accept bid package number 3 with the sedan, 109,500.
Okay?
I'll second Carl's motion and get this on the table. So the bid that we're proposing to accept is Vernon Street, essentially from Main to Second Street on the east side, which will include repair of the gutter as well as the sidewalks all the way down to Second Street. Is that correct?
Correct.
And the curbing that was unfinished from the last sidewalk repair there.
That's right.
Central Avenue on the east side from the parking lot next to the Patton Building down to Second Street.
Yes, that will start at our, the city parking lot.
At the
I think
apron, you're saying the
We're
apron?
gonna fix the apron.
Okay.
And then go south to Second.
Okay. And then East Second Street, curb and gutter around 311, including front of 309 on East Second. Okay, so is that where we didn't finish down there?
Correct.
On the other side of,
We did part of the work, but we stopped for
yeah,
some reason, so we're
okay.
gonna go ahead and finish it.
all right. That's great. Well, the key here is, we did an asset management plan that evaluated the sidewalks all across the entire city. We created a new rating system that we applied to sidewalks in similar fashion as we do for roads. From that data, we learned that we have about 40 miles of sidewalks. Probably 50% of them have some form of ADA issues. We're addressing some of those issues already in the Oak Hill revitalization. That was taking care of all the sidewalks up there, which were also poorly rated. And we're applying resources to some of the worst rated ones, and I think we ended up having a little over a mile's worth of very poorly rated sidewalks, majority of which were downtown, and this will get kind of the first start in dealing with those worst sidewalks. And then the goal is to refine the bid for the other 2 phases.
Correct.
Okay. Board, do you have any questions on this? I mean, improving walkability is important, particularly for downtown, where we have a lot of urban living and festivals and tourism. So I love the fact that we're following up with our data-driven, solution-oriented asset management plan that's now producing even more results. Board, any comments or questions for Mindy on this?
Yeah, I made a motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion, comments, or questions? Mind coming up?
I'm Jan Vatrus at 701 East Second. And normally I don't talk about sidewalks, but I live downtown and love to walk and appreciate what you're doing with sidewalks. Just a couple things. I hope you're working with the tree board because you have some professional landscape folks on there so that we don't cut down all the trees to get nice sidewalks because we need both. And also to make sure that when you do have to replace the historic cut stone gutters and curbs, that those stones are not disappeared off to private contractors, that those are maintained as city resources.
Has that been an issue? I mean, that you're pointing out?
Evidently.
Okay.
At least
Not a
people have
word.
seen them loaded up on trucks going across the bridge. So I haven't seen it personally, but I heard from folks in our neighborhood that, now, they're supposed to be stored at the city garage, so hopefully they
Not
are.
aware that's an issue.
I
but-
just want to
but
make sure
I
that
agree with you
it's
that
part of the plan.
that those are great materials for us to repurpose.
Yes.
Yeah.
And please, there are all kinds of new technologies for having trees. I don't know what they are, but your tree board does.
Mm-hmm.
And so, please talk to them first as opposed to after the fact. Because I think we can have both safe sidewalks and healthy trees.
We're a tree city, and
We need to keep that.
we invest a lot in our trees.
So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Any other comments or questions?
I'd agree with what Jan says. There are certain instances where maybe the tree can't be saved. But I think in those cases, trees need to be replanted. So, you know, we lose a tree, we replant a tree. So, and I also agree with your comments about the old curbs, the rock curbs, especially around downtown in the historic district, around, say, the Lanier home, the Shrewsbury House, the Hyatt Window House, that area there. I think we need to work around the existing as much as we can. So I hope that's taken into consideration in some, you know, these projects going forward, so.
I cannot speak to what happened prior to this administration coming in, but I can tell you that everything we've done sidewalk-wise, where we've had to remove those limestone curbs, which I hate. I love having those things in there, but it's very cost prohibitive to take them out and put them back.
Yeah.
So what our practice has been is where we have to pull them out, they take them to the city garage and keep them there. The only thing I'm aware of is that we did work with the Marriott and allow them to, that seemed appropriate to have it on that property.
Well, we had an economic development agreement with them to
Yeah.
support infrastructure and sidewalks and curbing and gutters, and of
Right.
course, that's historic property, so
Right.
what's best to, better to
That
use
made a
than
lot of
historic.
sense, but we're working on codifying that when a curb has to come out, that it stays in our hands, and we have the option to use it in landscaping or in a public space or whatever, but it's not sold privately, so.
I know Bob Green has stuck a couple of those, not sure where they came from, but he made like a bench down there on Heritage out of those. It looks very nice. That seems appropriate for that.
I think
part of
benches
town.
are a great option for that
Yeah.
stone, but
Sometimes it's hard to incorporate 150-year-old curbing into modern curbing.
yeah, it's part of the
Yeah.
charm. I love it. You
Yeah.
don't see that a lot of places, but it really is, we wouldn't be able to replace the curb and gutter if we had to put it back.
I know St. Michael's Street is almost 100% the old curbing for the church all the way
Yes,
to the, well,
yeah. I hate to
Fairfield
lose
Inn.
it,
Encourage the city to work where it's feasible
right.
to work on
Yeah. If we're
restoring
just doing the
those.
sidewalk, we can leave it, but if we've got to take the curb out or the gutter out, it's or do any infrastructure, it's tough.
Yeah.
Thank you, board.
thank you, Amanda.
Thank you. Did we vote on that measure? So,
No.
oh, okay, let's go to a vote then. Any additional comments or questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
I forgot to ask, Mayor, on that, do we need to have a motion to reject the other two?
We will do that. Let's move to reject the other two and restructure the bid for package 2 and package 1. We have a second on that.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed? Thank you. Jan, since you're here, I may ask if you want to give the community an update on progress at 707 Walnut Street, if you don't mind. Thank you.
As some of you have noticed, if you've driven by, the contractor fence is up around the property, and we're in the process of scheduling a dumpster. It's a little tricky because it's a very small lot, and it's very, that corner with the liquor store is very busy, so we're working with the neighbors to make sure we can locate it in a place that everybody's aware and make sure that we schedule it so that we can get it in and out as quickly as possible. So that's the things that are working on. They're still doing the drawings and the plans. And I know that Link has reached out to Nicole for some information on the PACE application,
Okay.
as well as the demolition permit, so.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
perhaps
it's
maybe the
happening.
adjoining property owner at 705 would allow the dumpster to be located in the rear of that property, which would be
Yeah,
pretty
well, and
convenient.
there is an owner that owns the back half of 707 too. So, yeah, working with the neighbors, just make sure everybody knows that it's coming and when, and so that
Okay,
that it's
fantastic.
appropriate.
Look
So,
forward to seeing the progress
yeah,
there, Jan.
we're excited, and we'll
We're-
be having a tour with the new Indiana Landmarks Director of, I'm not sure if I've got her title right, Black History Preservation. Anyway, this will be her first visit to Madison on Thursday, so we're looking forward to showing her around both the Georgetown neighborhood and the Broadway community. And
Jan, do you have any
Including
preliminary results of your testing?
you know, I asked about that, and I haven't, they've done the testing, but I don't know what the results are yet, so.
Yeah, I just wonder
we'll
what kind of
keep
a
you
time
posted.
frame
Yeah.
it would take to
The,
get the results.
I'm not sure.
that,
So this is not, this is in addition to his day job, so.
Yeah,
So we're just grateful that we have an expert here in the community and that they're willing to do this for us.
I didn't
So,
know if they just had any
Yeah, I don't know. Some of what they've uncovered.
preliminary
Yeah.
by sight and not by, you
Yeah,
know,
but, well, by sight, the materials that they've uncovered do seem to date from the 1840s, so we're pretty excited.
Yeah, and since you brought up the board member from Indiana Landmarks being here, over to your right and our left is a concept drawing for Gaines Park. And tomorrow night at City Council meeting, we'll have the third reading for an ordinance that appropriates money from our ARPA plan. And we've recommended the appropriation of $250,000, $250,000 toward upgrades at Gaines Park, as well as committing $100,000 towards the creation of a Georgetown district. So
Okay,
lots-
great,
lot-
yeah.
So
Well,
we'll
we're
put some
gonna- we're
resources
We're
behind.
gonna have the
our
wrap-up
efforts.
here at City Hall, so.
Fantastic, I'll bring that up.
Show her.
That's tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's move on to claims.
Mayor had an opportunity to review the claims, and I'll make a motion that the claims be approved as submitted.
I'll second David's motion.
Any comments or questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, thank you. Mayor's comments, I kind of alluded to it just a minute ago, but we have a very busy city council meeting planned tomorrow night. We'll be continuing the adoption of our 2023 budget, the allocation of our appropriation of our ARPA $2.6 million grant funds. Mindy had just brought through today the notice to award a bid for sidewalk project. We have two of our Ready Grant projects that have already been bid through, the Gateway and the Mulberry Street Arts Corridor. And now we're working on the bidding for the replacement of Crystal Beach, as well as three more Ready Grant-related projects in partnership with the state of Indiana and the Redevelopment Commission. So we have a very robust fall lined up for City of Madison, in addition to the other projects we're already working on the Hilltop. I believe we just released a September e-newsletter, so I'd like to invite the community to sign up for that, so you can stay informed about all the things that are happening around town. And we're heading into Halloween. I think before we meet again, we will have had our Bicentennial Park Halloween Festival and trick-or-treating on October the 31st. So lots going on in the city. Appreciate everybody. Any public comments? Anybody here would like to address Board of Public Works? Hearing no additional comment, I have a motion to adjourn, and this might be a record meeting, 30 minutes or
Also
29
moved.
minutes.
I'll second David's motion.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed. Thank you. Next meeting will be Monday.